Thank you, Christy. Good morning. How is everyone this morning? Beautiful, beautiful. Yes, you are. Welcome to Tucson New Thought, our spiritual community where we gather every single Sunday to know and learn and understand and teach and experience and settle into the notion and knowledge that there is one power in the universe, one creative infinite source, and that source is love. That's what we are here to teach. And it is such a pleasure to have you here. I'm Reverend Jonathan Zenz. I'm the founding spiritual director of Tucson New Thought. And it's a beautiful day, is it not? Beautiful. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Tucson New Thought is here to create a world that works for everyone. That is our vision. And we engage this vision through our mission, which is to provide practical tools for personal transformation and awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence, which helps me to understand what I know about every single person in this room, every single person watching online, every single person that I encounter in my life. And it is this, you ready? You are magnificent. You are absolutely magnificent, not because of anything you do, but just because of who you are. So celebrate your magnificence, understand your magnificence, and let yourself be rooted perfectly into your own sense of magnificence. Now, we're living through interesting times, yes? And, you know, in the 10:30 gathering, we have people get up and we gather and we shake hands and we hug and we do this whole thing. And today it's going to be probably a lot more like what I offer us to do in the 9 o'clock, which is to say, just take a look around the room and offer a loving gaze and recognize the magnificence in the people that are all around you for just a moment. I'm going to invite Carrie Pierce to join me. Again, I never know where to be. Oh, well, then I guess we should do that. You're right. Come on up, Carrie. You can still come on up. Christy was just pointing out to me that we did not affirm for ourselves this truth. And I think we should all say, I am magnificent. Ready? I am magnificent. And indeed, it is so. Every single gathering, we do this ritual that is near and dear to my heart and helps me to deepen into my understanding of our interconnectedness with all that is. It is called lighting the flames of faith. And what we do within this is we are deepening into our understanding with each candle that we light that all faith traditions of the world, all religions, all spiritual ideologies are rooted in that divine golden thread of love. And so, we light a candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light a candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light a candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light a candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light a candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light a candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light a candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the divine will of love as the highest calling. We light a candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light a candle for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. We light a candle for all those who are as yet unaware of the power and presence of spirit in their lives, and for the space that we are holding for them, and for all faith traditions unnamed in this ceremony. And this final candle we light is a candle to represent the healing of any circumstance which requires divinity to be revealed. for that is the true nature of healing, the revelation of the divine energy at the core of all circumstances, all experiences. And so this is your candle. This is our candle for whatever is in our minds and in our hearts that require the light in this moment. Thank you, Carrie-Mon. The candle to your right is our peace candle. And we keep that candle consistently illuminated with the understanding that as it is consistently illuminated, it represents the consistent, infinite illumination of peace in our hearts. And as we come to recognize that infinite illumination of peace in our hearts, it expands from our beingness to experience peace throughout the entire world. And so we are the point at which peace begins. And so we honor this candle utilizing these words written by James Dillett Freeman. They are slightly modified. If you would read this with me. Truly, the light of peace surrounds us, the love of peace enfolds us, the power of peace protects us, and the presence of peace watches over us. Wherever we are, peace is. And so I invite you to relax right where you are as we take a few moments of centering and meditation. And as we set our minds into this active practice of meditation, let's do so with this in mind, this affirmation which we are using this month. I am infinitely unfolding in more magnificent ways every day. And so take that into your minds and into your hearts as we settle into this quieting time. Just relaxed into this perfect moment, deepening into the knowledge, into the good that is infinitely present right here and right now. For there is only that one power, there is only that one presence, there is only the one, the light, the life, the love. And it is who and what each and every one of us is. We are the light, we are the love, we are the life. We are infinite divine beingness, consistently unfolding, consistently moving forward, consistently evolving. This is the truth, and I accept this truth here and now. And I trust to know for each and every one of us that we are infinitely unfolding in more magnificent ways every day. And so we take this not just into our intellectual understanding, but we deepen now into the infinite heart space. We are rooted right here and right now with this knowledge that we are the one. The good is ever present. The light is infinitely illuminated by means of each and every one of us. And I live in gratitude every single day for this. I trust this. I know this. I welcome the good that flows from this understanding. And I allow myself to ruminate and resonate on this for just a few moments in the silence.
I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take, is taken in pure faith, and I am stronger every moment, every day. My mind is willing and my heart is open wide. I trust my instincts and let Spirit be my guide. I vow to live a life that's real and true and free, as I continue walking in this mystery. I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith, and I am grateful every moment, every day. And so it is.
Thank you, Christy. When I came in this morning, we have this colored light back here, and we had it set to green because that is the color of the heart chakra, which we enjoyed on Wednesday night. And I asked Carrie Mon, well, what color should it be today? And we went through some ideas, and she said, make it the color of the root chakra, so we can all allow ourselves to feel grounded and present in the space that we are in, that we inhabit right here and right now, with the understanding that at the core of each and every one of us, we are grounded in health, in pure vitality, and there is nothing to fear, for we are always protected. So that is the meaning of the color today that we've chosen, red, the color of the root chakra. If you would please give me a number, and it can be inclusive of these numbers, between 25 and 423. 336. 336. That seems to be 336. This is the chapter, What the Mystics Have Taught. There are 5 paragraphs on this page. Which one shall I? 5. Well, this is perfect for today and every single day, but considering what we are experiencing in the world right now, this is perfect for today. There cannot be a law in the universe which demands evil, lack, limitation, and the experience of unhappiness to provide shades to magnify its glory. Therefore, the mystics have taught that evil has only the power to destroy itself, that it is not God-ordained. From the viewpoint of reality, it is an illusion. From the viewpoint of reality, and we're talking about reality with a capital R, and we do differentiate sometimes within this philosophy, lowercase r reality and uppercase r reality. And what I am coming to more and more and more is that as I align my lowercase r reality as the uppercase r reality, my life gets better. Because we teach infinite oneness, we teach there is absolutely no separation. We teach that we are the infinite power and presence of this divine creative source. So any degree to which I think there is any separation, there's a lowercase r and an uppercase r, I am setting myself up for problematic living. I'm setting myself up for problematic living. So I'm going to accept that my life is the uppercase R life, at all times, irrespective of what the circumstances look like. And we're living in a world of circumstances right now. Oh, it's the big elephant in the room. And it's not even pink. You know, this whole coronavirus thing, this whole thing. And you know, as the responsible leader of an organization where people gather, I've had a lot of back and forth this week around what do I do? How do I approach this? How am I going to encourage my community to understand that wherever you go, you are perfectly protected, you are perfectly safe, and you are always at choice in terms of how you experience this world. And I think, well, I just have to tell them. You are perfectly protected. You are perfectly safe. You are always protected, no matter where you go, no matter how you choose to be. If that is at the forefront of your mind, there is no lack or limitation. There is no dis-ease. There is no thing except to the degree that we make it a reality in our experience. And so as we think we are creating that uppercase our reality as the experience of our lives. And so if you are looking to be protected from something, well then guess what's going to show up in your life? It's going to bring into your life things from which you need to be protected. And so our job, our work in this mental field is to say, there is nothing from which I need to be protected. I know who I am. I am the love. I am the light. I am the infinite power of Source coursing through and expressing as me. And as I do this, I don't know why I feel compelled to come down and be with the people today. As we do this, we create around ourselves, I said it yesterday in the video, a love bubble. A love bubble. And nothing can penetrate the love bubble. Nothing. That's what I've decided. Nothing can penetrate the love bubble. So I am always, always living in the infinite flow of health, of expression of the divine in every aspect of my life. As I trip and fall backwards. So, there cannot be a law in the universe which demands evil, lack, limitation, and the experience of unhappiness. So when we see those things happening all around us, and we're seeing it happening all around us, and we see it, not just in this instance, but I do believe we see it a lot, right? We see lack, we see limitation, we see unhappiness. It is our decision in every moment to determine whether or not we are going to align ourselves with that or not. So I choose to be infinitely surrounded by the love bubble. And people may say, well, because this is the other thing that's coming up. There's a certain level of spiritual shaming that I'm seeing happen as well. And it's happening a lot in New Thought centers that teach you are the point at which you create your experience, because what is happening is there are a number of centers that have opted not to have Sunday gatherings in person. I'm seeing it all over the place. Part of it is they're responding to whatever their local governments are suggesting is appropriate. So let's acknowledge the fact that if I were told by the local government, you cannot gather because you have, however many they determine is the number. And right now the city of Tucson is saying, try not to gather in groups of more than 50. Well, we've been below that threshold. We're close to it in the 1030, but we're below it still. So I said, of course we're going to gather. We're still going to come together in community and understand and support each other and know that love is the point of view from which all of this is unfolding, and that is how we will experience this magnificent thing called life. But the spiritual shaming is coming from people in roles of leadership saying to other people in roles of leadership, well, I can't believe you're canceling your service. Aren't you going against everything we teach within this philosophy? And the answer is no. The answer is no. The degree to which that individual judges this individual for the choices that they make is the degree to which we diminish ourselves. Because when we are in judgment of the choices people make, we open ourselves up to the lack, the limitation, the unworthiness, because it's ultimately a mirror reflection of the judgment we have in our own hearts for ourselves. And so I have tried to put out there this. The greatest gift that we have as infinite expressions of a divine creative energy is that we live with volition. We have choice in how we choose to be in this world. Each and every one of us have choice. I will tell you, there are people who have already reached out to me and they say, I am making the choice to not be in the community on Sunday. And I said, and blessings for that. You get to have that choice. I get to have the choice of still coming together and saying, this is how I choose to be. I also get the choice of saying, let's be respectful of other people's decisions. If you don't want to hug, that's okay. That's your choice. Let's respect those people's choices. I am making a choice today that we're not going to pass the baskets because of the touch issue, that when we get to the offering, I'm going to invite everybody to come up and place whatever it is they're offering just into the basket on their own. These are the choices we get to make. I get to make the choice of actually touching my face. The minute we give up choice is the minute we've given up our freedom. And I choose to live a life that's real and true and free, as the chant said this morning. But I have to then be willing to accept that in that, I must be open to the understanding that people are all making their own choices. And how magnificent is that? It's so magnificent. It is the thing that is the power for each and every one of us, that we individualize this infinite source and presence. We talked about it in class, the concept of individualizing the infinite. As we individualize the infinite, the only way we can do that is through the choices that we make. Because to not have choice means we would all be basically automatons. There would be no differentiation. None. And so welcome choice in your life. Don't be afraid to take chances. Don't be afraid to make choices. Don't be afraid, provided you know who you are. Provided you know who you are. When I sent out the email on Friday, and it had a long thing around, here's how we're addressing the current circumstances of our experience. The very first bullet point I put into that was, know your mind. And it was really important that that be the point of view from which everything else is expressed. Know your mind. If you are living in a state of fear around what is being proliferated, then I'm going to suggest to you, stay home. But if you know who you are, you remember who you are, that you are that infinite divine power and presence, then you have nothing to fear. There's absolutely nothing to fear, because you've created that love bubble that is your infinite being and presence. And so, we get to be free of these notions because there is no law that requires this experience. There's absolutely no law that requires this experience. The mystics have taught that evil has only the power to destroy itself, that it is not God ordained. You know what here's what I take from that irrespective of the proliferation of evil acts, which we have seen in our lives, I'm sure each and every one of us have seen evil acts in our life. I mean, I can think of one in particular that happened 19 years ago in September. That was an evil act, and I get questioned around things like that. You get into class and everybody says, but what about Hitler? There are evil acts. There are evil things that people do. And what those are uses of this infinite power in destructive ways. Because everybody says, how can you say that it's all God? Well, God is simply the flow, and how we utilize it is what determines whether it is evil or not, whether it is infinitely good or not. And our work, each and every one of us, our work is, again, not to be in judgment, but to know who we are so that we proceed forward from the point of view of love. Because love constructs. Love is the constructive power. And we can utilize it, we can settle into it, we can trust and know that our lives are flowing forth from that point of view and give into that in the here and now. And so that's what I choose to do. I don't condone the acts of those who have made destructive choices in their life. But my job is to know who I am and how I proceed forward. So if you're willing to accept in your own heart that your work here is to lead with love, to be the kindness, to be the constructive energy of divinity, which is what you are at the core, then say yes. And the rest of you? Yes, just say yes. Say yes. Yes. Say that I accept the love at the core of my beingness. I choose to know that I am infinitely protected. I choose to be a beacon of light for the entire world. I live my life as love. Just get a sense of the change of energy just from speaking words that has occurred in this room. I feel lifted. And I just choose to take it in. There is no evil, there is no lack, there is no limitation. So let us accept that in our hearts today and move forward, prosper, bless, acknowledge the love that is all around us, and let that be the constructive expression of our lives. And so it is. If you would. I always like to say that, I love this 9 o'clock gathering that I get to just see what Spirit's going to say. And it'll be interesting to see how that transmutes itself into our next experience when we are up at Unity in a few weeks. I'm going to invite you to take in whatever it is that is expressed here today that has touched you in your heart, and allow yourself to sit with that for just a moment. I allow myself to be rooted in the knowledge that my lowercase reality and my uppercase reality are one thing. For that is how I choose to be in this world. That is how I choose to express. And I live in infinite gratitude for that, right here, right now. And I let myself resonate and ruminate with this understanding for just these few moments in the silence.
In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release. As my heart opens up to the voice, I awake to these precious moments when I hear all that could ever be said, and right here in this holy silence I find God, I find myself. the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release. As my heart opens up to the voice, I awake to these precious moments when I hear all that could ever be said. And right here in this holy silence, I find God. Oh, I find God. I find myself.
I've had an epiphany. If I'm going to say, well, there's no disappointment. There is no disappointment. Okay, I'm just going to say it because this is what's coming through me right now. I've been trying to figure out what to do with the fact that this construct is essentially going to be eliminated on Sunday mornings. I'm thinking that maybe we do this on Wednesdays. We replace our meditation and do this style of service on Wednesday evenings, starting in April. That's just what's coming through me. Just in this moment, I'm like, I don't want to lose this construct, and so maybe that's the answer. I'm going to sit and work with that in my own mind for a while and see what happens. I see some affirmative response to that, so I think it's a good thing. I'm going to invite you to take out whatever it is you're offering the center today in terms of a contribution, a gift, a tithe, an investment, whatever you choose to call it. Recognize and know that it is the power of love in action right here and right now. And as we honor what it is that you're offering the center today, I trust and know that it is utilized with the highest integrity by the leadership of this organization as we move through our time of transition and expansion and ultimately joy. So let's, with that in mind, read our divine givingness statement together as we hold this by our hearts. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless. It is evidence of my conviction that spirit is the source and substance of my supply. I joyously contribute to the vision of my spiritual center, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly. And as I said, we're not going to pass the baskets around, so as I sing the song, I'm going to invite you to make your way up. And it's all choice, right? Remember, so don't feel like you're obligated to come up, but if you are feeling compelled to put something in the basket, I invite you to come up and lay it into the basket as we sing the song. Here we go.
I celebrate my abundance today. By giving this gift, I show my faith. As I open my heart, my world becomes a better place. I release all fear as I share gratefully. This love that I give always gives back to me. Knowing my oneness with everything else, I know that all that I give to myself. Knowing my oneness with everything else, I know that all that I give to myself.
There is no video announcements. There are no video announcements today because I want to be able to talk about some of the stuff that's going on. So the first thing to know is that's our logo. The next thing to know, the Tibetan Healing Bowl experience has been postponed. This was scheduled to happen on March 28th. Dr. Dream is postponing his entire tour at this moment because it is very interactive. It does require touching, and so in light of everything that's going on, he's postponing all of his tour dates right now. So, if you have already purchased, you should have already received a refund, but there is no link now. So, if you go to the email and you try to click the link that I sent out on Friday, it will go to an error page. So. I will let you know when that gets rescheduled. I don't know yet, but we're looking forward to it when it does get rescheduled. Wednesday, our spiritual practice this Wednesday, the 18th, is our Taizé-style gathering. I've got to get you music. Is our Taizé-style gathering right here in this room. Taizé is music, meditation, the reading of mystic poetry, and a lot of quiet contemplation. It's a really beautiful experience. I encourage you to join us for our Wednesday spiritual practice this coming Wednesday, the 18th. That begins at 6 p.m. Jamie Lula, so far as I know, is still planning on doing his concert next week, March 22nd at 2 p.m. That is going to be at the Unity Spiritual Center of Peace. You can get your tickets and all the information at TucsonCSL.org. Jamie Lula is a magnificent friend of mine. I'm so grateful that he is coming here and that he's going to be offering his magnificent music. Trust me, you're going to love this guy, so go see Jamie. What else is happening? You will have received notification today that it is now official. I have signed the agreement, and we will be moving up to Unity of Tucson. My first day there as the senior minister is April 1st, officially, although I'm already in contact, and we're starting to have discussions around the activities there, and I will start working out of that office actually on Tuesday, so I'm super excited about that. So we will begin meeting at Unity of Tucson for one gathering on Sundays moving forward starting in April, a 10 a.m. gathering. There should have been a map and information that was handed out. If not, you can grab it off of the table. April 12th is Easter Sunday. There will be an Easter service, but I want to let you know that we are going to be doing an Easter sunrise labyrinth at Unity of Tucson at their beautiful outdoor labyrinth. So join us at 6 a.m. Yes, 6 a.m., because the sunrise that day is 5:58, so it'll be perfect as the sun is just coming up to walk and set your intention for how we rise into the next thing in our lives. So April 12th, 6 a.m. If you would like to sing in the Easter choir, which will be a combined Unity of Tucson, Tucson New Thought choir, let me know or let Christy know. We are going to be getting the music. They're having their rehearsals on Sundays after their celebration. So if you're at the 9 o'clock, you could run up there. That would be easy. But if you're at the 10:30 gathering that we're doing still, you would miss out on those rehearsals. So if you're interested in singing, Christy's going to be putting rehearsals together, teaching the music, and then we will come together as a combined choir on April 5th to lay it all out. So if you're interested in that, just let me know. I would love to offer my gratitude to Aiden for providing our technical support, allowing us to go out to the internet and making sure that we're heard and seen and everything here in this beautiful experience of sacred time that we choose to experience together. I want to say thank you to my greeter and my sister and the person who lights the candles and one of my spiritual guides, Karimon. Thank you for being here and being present and serving. I want to say thank you to Christy for your magnificent music and all that you do to enlighten my life. Thank you so much. I want to say thank you to everybody who's watching online, and I really do want to say thank you to everybody who is present here today. Your energy is what makes this community what it is, and I am grateful every single day that you are here present in my life. Thank you. So as we complete our time in this gathering, I invite you to simply just remember who you are.
I remember who I am. I remember who you are and who we are is pure spirit. I remember who I am. I remember who you are and who we are is pure spirit. We are life, we are love, we are light. We are joy, we are peace, we are wisdom and beautiful harmony. We are pure spirit. I remember who I am. I remember who you are and who we are is pure spirit. And who we are is pure spirit. Make it a magnificent week, everyone. Namaste.